guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Samantha, and to be honest, I've done this video a couple of times just because I feel like I am watering it down too much. But basically what I wanted to say is people don't feel safe right now. And all that I mean about safety is when someone doesn't feel safe, all it means is that they fear a negative consequence. So they're not secure in the upcoming events, or they don't feel secure within themselves. So when people feel unsafe or therefore unsupported, so if you don't feel safe, then you don't feel supported, you're going to get defensive, you're going to feel hostility, you're going to get angry, you're going to feel maybe bouts of shame or anger. So I think that allowing people to feel safe is very important right now. I generally feel that people are under a lot of stress, obviously, and a lot of fear and anxiety. So basically, when a person does not feel safe, they are hesitant or are reluctant to either experience something, acknowledge something, maybe stepping into an environment, maybe a person. So when I use the word safe space, which is a very important word for me because safety is very it's very important for me personally to bring a space of safety because a lot of people feel extremely lacking in safety. So to be in a safe space is basically to look at an individual or animal, and you're in a space of non-judgment, and you're completely in a perspective of their world and their understanding. Now, if you want to step up a level above compassion and safety, it could be considered empathy. And empathy is knowing how that individual feels, knowing how that person feels, and feeling it yourself. So when we're in this realm or space, you have to be in a space of understanding. I mean, complete understanding. And I feel like this is extremely important. And I also believe that the word that also comes to mind is attunement. And the best way that I could describe it is it's similar to empathy. But basically you can have the ability to understand a person's needs even though they don't vocalize it or say it, and be able to take action in a positive direction. So a lot of people experience attunement through body language or empathizing with that person. They also look at cues such as tone of voice. Maybe if you're texting someone and you see like maybe a different emoji that's used or something, this is a form of attunement. And I feel like the feelings of safety are completely lacking. And I feel like to feel like things in general or to say things in general, people feel unsafe doing so because they feel like they're going to be attacked. People are very in a reaction mode. Reaction versus responding is when someone's in a reaction mode, they are more in a state of fight or flight response. So they're too busy being in a space of protecting themselves rather than making the choice to respond because they want to. So you can't make somebody feel safe, but you can offer that space. So right now I feel like people are kind of either doing one of two things, is recoiling within themselves or not wanting to be around other people, or two, they are just being really hostile and trying to protect their own well-being. So what's needed actually right now is for people to present a safe space to the world, more understanding, more compassion, more empathy. So this will also, when someone feels safe, they are encouraged to be themselves. And unfortunately today it is very difficult to be your genuine self because people don't feel accepted when they are, especially in the work environment. um, so how do you make someone feel safe? Well, offering non-judgment and offering lack of resolution for the reason why they feel unsafe. So a person doesn't open up to another person because they want resolution. They want someone to be in that space of understanding. And I think one of the best things in the entire world is to be with someone and they get to experience, like, maybe they feel really unsettled and unsafe, and if you give them that opportunity to kind of blossom into, hey, I'm feeling this feeling, maybe I did this action and I don't feel really confident that I did it, allowing them to confidently tell you and be themselves, they will blossom and they will be able to create their own resolutions within their own the space. Also, creating a safe space also means that if an individual, let's say you have like a friend that comes to you and they have an issue with a problem, people look at their problems or themselves generally through one side. So the interesting thing about having a safe space is that it's opening doors to more than one truth. So there is actually more than one truth, and when I say truth, it's more about perception and reality, but there is subjective truth and then there's absolute truth. So when people look at themselves, they're generally only looking at through one truth. It's kind of like being in like a cave and you're facing like the dark part of the cave and then the sun is kind of beaming behind you, so you're only seeing one side. So being in a safe space offers more opportunity for an individual to see like the entire cave. So when people feel unsafe, they're generally only seeing one part and they're focusing too much on this part. A lot of safety evokes a lot of anxiety and fear, and people get like really panicky or they get really depressed or they just feel really unsettled. So if you're able to offer more than one truth within this space, it's going to be really helpful for the individual. Also, when I think of like safe spaces, I think of nurturance, which is also something that's really important in our world today, is nurturance. So when you're in a nurturing space, you're actually in a very vulnerable space because you're kind of being in a space of softness, which is really hard for people to do because it leaves you in a space of being criticized or you're kind of open to being hurt, right? So when people think of nurturance, they kind of think of like taking care of animals or people, but when you're actually in a state of nurturance, you're in a state of very pure connection and with like another human being or an animal. So this is why it's really calming to actually nurture your cat or dog when you're sad or you're lonely, because you're actually not only wanting that connection, but softness is very calming for an individual. So offering not only like tea, but colors actually have a lot to do with someone feeling safe as well. Like the colors lavender, purple, light pinks not only are symbols of femininity and friendship and connection, but it also is a very relaxing and soothing colors. And when you're relaxed and you're soothed and you have like kind of a tranquil meditative space, you're more allowing for things to come to you. So if you're working with an individual, you're talking with a friend that is feeling really unsafe due to they're having like a panic attack or they're telling you something that's really personal, I feel like colors really have a lot to do with being in that space and calming the mind. So I also feel like if people were to present their more of a safe space with people, people would be less likely to react like angrily. So when people react really quickly, it's because they're trying to defend something. So when they're trying to defend something, something's really important to them, and they kind of need this armor to like protect themselves or protect a loved one. So essentially, there's a part of themselves that feels really like either individual is unsafe or they feel unsafe. So when you offer more people within the world that presents more of a safe space, people are less likely to like react harshly or have have to resort to harming other people or harming other beings. So that's just all I wanted to say for today, guys, and I really appreciate you watching. I am on Spotify, and if you would like to check my Spotify out, it is a podcast. I offer guided sessions as well as podcasts and episodes and things like that, and I put music in the back as well to make it more calming. If you also would like to book a session with me, I will leave that in the description box below. So thank you guys so much for listening, and remember to be a safe space for someone today. Thank you.